Now we're looking towards NIP as
Let's go.
that's to be expected. Again, it's just kind of how a lot of the jungle matchups go, even if you're really min-maxing as now junglers trying to meet here.
PPGod sees an opening. He goes in there with the Zenith Blade. MilkyWay gonna eat the Ignite, and First Blood will go over to Leaf. Flashes and Ignites blown. PPGod will survive with a couple. If he can get out of lane, right? The TP, the teleports aren't unleashed. But if you could get that hero's entrance down for something potentially on the bottom side or the top side, but NIP have kind of made their move here, hitting level 6 at the perfect time as Shanji drops the equalizer as Leaf shows up from the bottom lane to the top lane. Gets a Dark Harvest stack, but really not much else.
Yeah, it's a good lane swap, and it's great tempo here for Arky and NIP. As Lilla, I think you've overstepped your welcome, mate.
Oh man, bit off far more than he could chew with that hook, doing his best PPGod impression, and as a result...
Still going to be kind of slow. It will be for a dragon on the side of NIP though, so not feeling too bad about it. Shanji is going to try and make his way underneath this tower. Can they 100-0 him?
The Lilla redemption arc is on and very much off, but you did get the flash out of Shanji.
Equalizer in 4 seconds.
Yeah, you'll take that, but like you said, that equalizer coming back off cooldown. Does he use it on Jachi or does he use it on the wave? Might be the question. He will try to get both. Porque no los dos, and he gets the solo kill out of it. Jachi, welcome to the league, my friend.
Up here, and we'll see how RNG look to actually engage this fight, as last time around didn't exactly go their way.
Yeah, Lilla is on a different part of the map, you will notice, but it is Jachi that might be caught out here. He gets the equalizer dumped on him, point blank. Shanji with a death wish against Jachi, kills him twice in the span of a few minutes. Tranquil Thorns go up, Hero's Entrance goes out, as well as PPGod gets sent back to the gray screen. Not able to hit the W is Nenny on the Irelia, able to flash away, but into certain death, as now Tangyuan gets rolling. He's got the flash to go forward one more time, should he want to. Can hop forward on that reset as well, forces the flash out of the NIP jungler, and Leave will bounce, or excuse me, the NIP AD carry. Spell not going to land here, but now 2 for 2 traded here, as Nenny's got himself the Blade of the Ruin King, but it is NIP, crucially, that walk away with those grubs.
Exactly. NIP, they're the one that get the objectives here, as Arky is going to be harassed a little bit by the burn. And RNG, whilst the fight in the extended didn't look too bad, Tangyuan should be able to rocket jump away from this.
Yeah, no equalizer back, fortunately.
No, not just yet. And again, even though that fight didn't look too bad for RNG, just not being able to get the objectives, right? That's what really, really feels bad. And 6 grubs going to be absolutely detrimental to NIP to RNG if NIP are ever able to get on top of any towers, as Shanji just gets absolutely melted by the ultimate and by a little bit of help from Leave, as again, a good catch out here onto PPGod. But again, if it's just PPGod dying, do you really care that much, as a whole bunch of CC falls onto Nenny's head? And such is the life of playing Irelia in such a circumstance as pro play, where there's almost always CC. And again, Nenny struggles a little bit, but you expect to see that. It's really on the side lane where you're going to look to expect him to really open out and maybe provide a little bit more for NIP, but G hadn't quite rotated onto the objective, leashed it out towards their entrance of the map, and because of that, just kind of very easily means for RNG, or rather for NIP, that they can kind of do whatever they want on top of that objective. And RNG not being able to pick out a member, right, proactively, losing Jachi at the start of that fight, really makes things difficult to navigate.
Yeah, losing your AD carry before a fight, that's just kind of League of Legends 101. Never going to go well for you. NIP, complete dominance on the Rift, man. I mean, 4 for 4 on the neutral objectives. And some of it has been their setup, and some of it has been just the little plays that they've made and what they've done immediately on the back of those, right? Their tempo has been phenomenal. You called it tempo Exodia, and I would tend to agree. Dive coming in here, talk about the CC chain. My goodness, Xiaoshu, poor kid, doesn't get to play the game. Shanji TP's in for the kill. How do you do?
Yeah, I mean, just making good use of the 6 grubs here. They're even going to be able to get this tower before that 14-minute mark, get the additional bonus plate gold. And RNG, they are matching this play here up on the top side, cross map, getting these towers. But again, you know, it still feels really bad. You're losing a kill, and you're even going to lose this tier 2, of course, which is just going to be even more gold. 250-ish split between Shanji, Leave, and Arky. Not bad at all. And even though RNG will trade out again, you know, another, we'll see how much work and then he can get done. You have to remember that bottom side lane has already lost all of its towers, right? Tier 2 taken in that earlier exchange for the Herald, so there's not really much for him to do other than actually knock on the door, right? Knock on the base of RNG, and we'll see how Tang Yuan or Xiaoshu decides to continually match them and keep those waves pushed out. Great wave clear on both of those as shift our focus now to the Dragon in 50 seconds time. Tang Yuan, very aggressive.
Almost got nailed there by the Solar Flare. PP God going all the way to the backline. Shanji, the equalizer from a screen away, and Xiaoshu shows up, but too little, too late. He gets caught up in the Stranglethorns. The Vanguard's edge goes down. Depth Charge gonna land on Aki, but that is just the escape button. Nothing much to do about any of that. 2 kills again over to NIP. They are having it their way right now, Jamada.
Yeah, and they're utilizing their composition so well as a 3-man sleep comes in.
MilkyWay gets a massive sleep. This could be the game changer they're looking for. It's MilkyWay doing MilkyWay things, but does the rest of the team have enough? Eddie gets in, gets a kill, and gets the heck out of dodge. MilkyWay gets lit up, and on the other side of things, leave from downtown. Snipes him down.
Every ultimate dropped on his head, and again, this is the power of the NIP engage tools, right? So much range left between the curtain call, between the equalizer. But all eyes on MilkyWay. He sees 3 people extended too far forward for this tower. Flash.
Ultimate, so not ability to really control that space, but you're going to get something out of this, and that something in this case for NIP is that top lane tier 1. But again, just making this eventual Baron easier and easier to set up.
Yeah, you just
sometimes for better or for worse, but now, yeah, the Baron is that going to be that main objective here. But again, in 20-some seconds, you've got the Cloud Soul on the table. Not a necessity for NIP to get, but would absolutely be a boon in their pocket.
Fighting over mid lane priority right now. NIP and RNG are. NIP don't really want to give up position on this Baron, as a double swell seed does connect, but won't be taken. PP God, you are dancing a very, very scary line, but look at Nenny. Off on the side
Netty.
there.
Oh, man. If that Zenith Blade... Oh, I was going to say if the Zenith Blade landed, that was going to be the go button, but Netty had ideas of his own. Pops that one. Curtain call over the top, and the equalizer as well. Jachi taken completely out of the fight, and now it's a 5v4 should NIP want to pursue, but RNG said absolutely not. I would not want to do that. Why would I ever want to continue that? NIP turned their attention to the Dragon.
I mean, still Jaji's flash gone, and then, of course, NIP are going to get this Cloud Soul, so very good exchange and a great angle found by Nenny. Makes use of, funnily enough, not really being able to secure Prio on that top side of the map. So makes the rotation come in, and again, RNG just have to retreat. So much damage coming out from Leaves
ultimate. Anyway, after this Baron push, if they get the right fight, they could just end this game.
Yeah, it does just feel like for RNG, the biggest problem they're going to run into is if they want to try and stop this side lane push from happening, they're going to have to expend key ultimates to really lock down a member of NIP, because again, it just feels like the turn power of Shanji or Nenny to be able to at the very least take one with him is super high, as MilkyWay chunked out, forced to flash away as well.
Yeah, he's out of the fight completely. Solar Flare gonna land on Alula, the MilkyWay. Oh man, he gets locked up and sent into the gray screen. The Zanyas ends up being his undoing. Big ol' shield comes through there from the locket of the Iron Solarian. It takes all that and more to eat through what Shanji is dishing on this equalizer. And now, to the Baron we go. That's enough. You got the jungler, free Baron.
Yep, and then he's even going to teleport up here as well, just to secure it. And NIP will get this purple worm. And it just feels like for RNG, I'm not even going to say time is running out. It feels like it has run out. I'm not really sure what more they can do with MilkyWay blowing his flash as well. It feels like the potential of maybe...
This is not the MilkyWay game that was promised. This is not the anything that was promised right now. Unless, I guess, your expectations are, you know, a little more tempered, let's say. Actually, we got to hold that question potentially here, as Lilting Lullaby does land there. The sleep goes off. Lilla not able to land his hook. The equalizer goes out and separates everyone completely away from Xiaoshu, who's doing his absolute darndest, but is getting meleeed by Shanji. Flashing forward, follows the flash of his own, and now heading for the hill, scared to death of a curtain call. Able to snipe Lilla out of the sky. Doing a little skeet shooting is Leave, and now they're going to crack open that base, Jamada.
Yeah, I mean, again, for RNG, they just had to pick a target. Their target, unfortunately, was PP God. And that was all they could really do. Scuffed engage in general just results in NIP being able to find the targets that they want in the response, and 2 inhibitors off the back of that from a good top wave and a wave already being present. This could just be the game with 6 grubs.
I was going to say, this looks like the ball game here. Jachi trying his darndest to get something down here with the Blighted Quiver, with anything. MilkyWay just taking damage from a
Leave. Honestly, maybe this fight looks significantly better, right? They can CC him down, but even in saying that, Shanji's equalizer does such a good job at cutting off a majority of RNG from advancing, and then look at the damage here. 700, 800 onto Lilla. That's a tank, by the way. Mind you.
Yeah.
1 bullet, not even the 4th shot. takes him out, and again makes the fight unturnable for RNG.
Meanwhile, Lela, just as quickly as he left the gray screen, he has found his way back. So, he'll put his hands back under his thighs and just kind of sit on him for a little bit as the rest of his team tries to weather the storm here. Chains of Corruption does land there onto PP God, but the Equalizer prevents any sort of move forward. And guess what? Leave is level 16 to me. That means that Curtain Call is back in business. Zhao Shu sidesteps the last one, but Tang Yuan crucially does not get hit by it. Nenny, kind of pressure that he can put on with that Hull Breaker. Right, getting a little bit further away from everybody, but with the Cloud Soul, with these grubs, this is the final push. Vanguard's Edge goes out onto Tang Yuan. Hero's Entrance comes down, trying to bail out the Tristana, but my goodness, just gets popped, deleted, sent into another dimension. Goodbye, sweet prince. Shanji doing a solo bolo thing under the tower. Lilith gets back to the screen just in time to watch his teammates die. It's a very sad scene all around, except, of course, if you are a Ninjas in Pyjamas fan, as they take game 1 in dominant fashion.
Yeah, that was a stomp if I have ever seen one.